Hi, it's Dr. Belcher again. I shared with you that I was going to be trying to present at least one time a week, if not two times a week, on specific topics that I'm hoping you all will find of interest. And so today I thought we would talk a little bit about conflict in the workplace, which is, as we know, is just inevitable, but effective resolution can lead to a stronger relationships and health in a healthier environment. So this presentation is will explore various strategies to help coworkers resolve conflicts efficiently and foster collaboration. So again, I want to talk a little bit about building healthier workplace relationships through resolution. So we'll start the conversation with by understanding the nature of workplace conflict, and including in that we'll talk about its causes and impacts. We will also dive into essential communication techniques that will facilitate conflict resolution, and then we will discuss effective conflict resolution strategies, followed by ways to build a positive work environment, and then finally we'll cover handling difficult conversations. So recognizing the sources and types of conflict is essential for resolving them, right? And so understanding these factors help us to address issues proactively before they get out of hand and escalate. Workplace conflict often arises from miscommunication, right? Differing values and competitive competition and for resources. So it is very important to be able to identify the root causes, which is, definitely key to preventing the disputes. Let's talk a little bit about types of conflicts among coworkers. So conflicts, as we know, can range from personal disagreements to professional disputes over roles and responsibilities. And really understanding these types helps in tailoring whatever approach you will use to resolve the conflict. One of the things that I am really big on is there's certain things in the workplace we just don't talk about. And so I think that's important to understand and to know that some environments, um, you just can't talk about things, or you shouldn't. So as we talk about that impact of unresolved conflicts, again, they lead to can lead to decreased productivity, low morale, and increased turnover. If you guys remember earlier or previously, I did a presentation on mental health in the workplace. These are definitely the stressors that I was talking about, which causes concern in the workplace for a person's mental health and well-being. And so it's very important for an organization to address conflicts promptly to avoiding it just causes more damage. So to address conflicts properly avoids that potential. Effective communication, right? So there's various communication techniques that um, that you can learn. So effective communication, as we know, is important. It's vital for resolving conflicts. And by honing in on our communication skills, right, getting really good at how we communicate, we can better navigate disagreements and foster that understanding. And so one of the techniques is active listening skills. Active listening involves giving someone your full attention, giving that speaker your full attention and understanding their message and responding thoughtfully. The active listening technique helps in diffusing tensions, and it really shows respect. Being clear and assertive, right, when you're communicating. Now, being clear and assertive doesn't mean being aggressive. Assertive and aggressive are two different things. Being assertive involves expressing your thoughts and feelings openly while respecting others. This approach, right, it fosters that constructive dialogue, right? The respect is there. you're open. It's more inviting. More you'll have a more constructive dialogue. Nonverbal cues. We are all familiar with that technique, right? Body language and facial expressions, they play a major role, a significant role in communication. I know growing up, my mom could give us a look and you knew that was that body language and that facial expression that we understood, right? And so being aware of those cues can enhance your understanding and reduces misunderstandings. Again, there are various strategies available for resolving your workplace conflicts, right? Adopting the right approach for you, and understanding you, being aware of you. So that right approach will allow you to lead to more positive outcomes and improved relationships within the workplace. Um, Mediation and negotiation, right? That is another way of dealing with conflict in the workplace. And so mediation happens because it involves a neutral party, a third party, to facilitate the discussions between the conflicting parties. And then negotiation allows parties to reach a mutual agreement, ensuring and hoping that everyone's needs are met. So let's talk a little bit about problem solving approaches, right? And problem solving, really, that approach focuses on identifying and underlining issues so that you can collaborate to finding solutions. And so this method encourages cooperation, and it also fosters that sense of ownership. You're owning it. Collaboration is just that, right? It involves working together to find a resolution that's going to satisfy all parties to the best of the abilities. So when you talk about collaborative techniques, you're talking about techniques such as brainstorming, which can lead to really being creative and have innovative solutions, which really then allows you to strengthen that team bond. A positive work environment reduces the likelihood of conflicts and promotes cooperation. And so by fostering a culture of respect, which is so critical, and inclusion, right? Not excluding, but including, teams can work more effectively. Encouraging teamwork through collaborative projects and team building activities is a good way to strengthen relationships and to enhance communication among the coworkers, among your coworkers. So embracing diversity and inclusion leads to a more robust, dynamic workplace, right? It's not a boring, right? When you have diversity and you're including people and not excluding, it just makes it more robust, right? And so recognizing and valuing different perspectives, it really fosters that innovative and creative way of thinking and doing things, but it also reduces conflicts because everybody feels like they're valued at that point. Establishing and enforcing policies that promote respect among coworkers is essential. I cannot stress that enough. Respect is key, right? We all know that respect gets respect, right? And so everybody wants to be respected. Okay, so a respectful workplace, it really mitigates conflicts and it does enhance the overall morale. So let's talk about handling difficult conversations because we've all had to handle a difficult conversation somewhere along the lines, right? And so difficult conversations oftentimes is just necessary to resolve conflicts effectively, right? And so preparing for these difficult conversations oftentimes lead to more of a productive outcome, an outcome that you believe that everyone can kind of live with, right? So I am a big believer in preparing, right? Rehearsing and practicing, just understanding the issues, right? Anticipating the reactions and deciding on the desired end outcome. So we all have had those difficult conversations. No, we need to have a difficult conversation, and we do anticipate the reaction. We will say, yeah, they're probably going to say this, or they're going to do this, or they're going to do that. So being prepared, right? This groundwork just lays the foundation for a constructive dialogue. Emotions, right? So managing emotions during conflict. And this is easier said than done. I understand it, right? So practice, practice, practice. Understanding who you are and awareness is crucial when we're trying to manage emotions during conflicts, right? Because emotions can run high during conflicts, right? Which makes it very crucial to remain calm and composed, right? And so there's some techniques um, that you can learn and work on and figure out which ones work best for you. One in particular that I do like is the deep breathing, because it can help you manage your emotional responses. So after you have addressed a conflict, it is very important to do a follow up and gather the feedback, right? If you can. This ensures that whatever the resolution is working, and it also fosters a culture of continuous improvement, right? So it shows that, hey, whatever's happening, we're determined on continuously to trying to improve the environment. And so, in conclusion, effective conflict resolution is essential for just a decent workplace, a workplace of harmony, if you will. By understanding conflict dynamics and employing communication techniques and fostering a respectful environment, well, you um, by having by employing communications techniques, right, that you've learned or picked up, it really will foster an environment of respect, and coworkers can navigate disagreements better and strengthen their relationships. So again, thank you for listening. If you have any questions or want to talk further, I can be reached at Nikia, Nikia, at Clarity, CLARITYGR.com. Thank you for listening.